Hello, welcome to my first ever video. Do you guys hate when people do that? I mean, I don't see why you would. Anyways, thank you for joining my video. I hope you guys will stay and watch. Sound like I'm begging, like please stay. No, you can leave if you want. Come back, get a snack, and then come back. As you saw from the title of this video, we are doing a mid-year reading roundup. You're like, don't you mean wrap up? Don't you mean wrap up? No, I don't mean to change the game or anything, and I'm not trying to, but I don't know if you know My Little Pony. Every time I see a booktuber do a reading wrap up or monthly wrap up or whatever it's called, I always think of the My Little Pony song, Winter Roundup, Winter Roundup, it's gonna holiday cheer. Don't get me started. If you know, you know. I always relate wrap up to roundup. It makes sense in my head, like you rounding up all the books that you read throughout the year. If you ask me, I don't think wrap up makes sense. Someone explain it to me in the comments. But this is what we're doing. I am gonna go from January to, what month is it? July? We in July. We're gonna go from January to July, just talking about all the books that I've read, I DNF, and what I recommend you read out of the books I just read. We're gonna do it in order and I'll give you my ratings. First up, we have The Serpent and the Wings of Night. I'll put it up on the screen. And I gave this book a 4.0. I feel like a lot of people do not talk about this book. I think I heard about it on Book Talk, and then I just never heard anything else about it. They even have a second book, and how do you say it? It's the Nyxia series. And there's something on my book. So that's fun. Honestly, guys, bear with me because I did not write down my thoughts after I read it or during it. I just rated it. I rated it, so bear with me. I really liked it. I really like the ending. I just don't know anything bad to say about this book as of right now. I should have thought about this. Hold on. Aurea is the female main character. Rain is the male main character. Aurea is human. Rain is the vampire. They end up entering into this game for different reasons that I will not go into because I feel like that might spoil it a little. There's like a love connection between them. The only downfall I would say about it is that Aurea is very protective of herself. She is quite stubborn, but rightfully so. But I think it's like too overbearing for me that she's so guarded that it's just like. Next, we have Twisted Games. I finished it February 16, 2024, and I rated it a 4.5. This book was so adorable, and I just remember, well, right now I remember bits and pieces of the story and where they were and just the feeling that I had while reading it. I can speak. Bridget is so smart. Don't get me started. Like, she really helped Ava relationship out, and gotta give her that. That's a true friend. And not only she's a princess, are you kidding me? It's a bodyguard romance. I don't have anything really bad to say about it. I guess this is why it's important. Write down how you feel during the time while you're reading the books, because you just forget it all. Yeah. Next we have The Cruel Prince. I rated this a 3.5. I struggled to get through this book. I'm not gonna lie. If I can remember, Jude made very bad decisions, and the way that her doing something kind of led to another problem later. It's like when you tell a lie, and then once you tell that lie, another problem comes along, and you have to lie about that, and then just keep on lying. It was like this. It was like this in this book. Like, she had a problem. She found a result for it, but that caused another problem in the future, and it kept doing that. Oh, it kept doing that. And then how she handled it all at the end, she needed time to think about it, which is, it makes sense. It realistically makes sense that you need time to think about how you're gonna solve this problem. Oh, I feel like I wish it was low-key not said how long it took her to think about this. Because there was a part where she had to, this is not a spoiler. Oh. There was a part where someone was asking her, what are we gonna do? Right? And it is like a whole team. Like, what are we gonna do? And she didn't really have an answer for it. She said, I will give you an answer soon, but really she went off, sat by a lake or something to think about what she's gonna do. And she took the whole night to do this. it didn't feel right. I don't know how to explain it. It just felt like a wimp move to do. So I would rather her not, or have them not have that dialogue of asking her what she's gonna do or what they're gonna do, and just like skip to the day, to the next day, to what the plan is. Let's move on. Next we have Forget Me Not by Julie Soto. Forgive me, I'm not good at pronouncing names. I started this book April 4th, 2024, and I gave it a 4.0. 4 stars. I gave it 4 stars. It was good and I enjoyed it. I liked the banter. I loved the female main character. And look how beautiful this is. Are you kidding me? What? It's a like, oh, it's so pretty. It's about a wedding planner and then a florist who don't really necessarily like each other, but they have to work together for a wedding, and their banter is so cute. I find them so adorable. I remember liking this book and thought it was beautiful, but then I also remember not liking something about it. I'm horrible at this. Well, I think it was like, maybe it was a tad bit slow, or maybe it was, this is so beautiful. I don't care. 4.0. Happy Place by Emily Henry. I read this book May 2nd, 2024. I gave it a 4.75 stars. Is 75 even a star rating? 4.75? If not, I just made it, okay? It's not quite a 5-star, but it's so super good. I always talk about this book to myself, 'cause I'm a weirdo. Emily Henry, girl, you put your foot in this. The way that she writes, how it goes back and forth from real life to Happy Place, and then in the middle somewhere, or maybe more than the middle, it says unhappy place. It shows you when her happy place turned into her unhappy place, to real, like right now, real life, to back to her happy place. And I'm like, that is so smart on how you make your chapters. It is so good. And just the two characters dynamic is amazing. I don't know, I just really love the message of this book. Hey, we're almost done, don't worry. Next we have Collide by Galbra. Okay, I'm not good at reading names. I finished reading it June 4th, 2024, and I gave it a 5.0 star. I love the dynamic of the characters. I love what they go through. The plot is amazing. The one thing I do say was kind of like was how Aiden, the male main character, fell in love quick. And it was just like, well, it was more like a flirty thing, and then it went to like, oh, I really like this girl. At first I thought it was enemies to lovers, and I don't think he was truly mad at her. I think what he was going through was kind of stressful at the time, and he just like was kind of like salty when they first met. It gave her a bad first impression of him, if that makes sense. So that's why I thought it was enemies to lovers, because the tension between them, and they didn't really like each other at first, but then they like came to it. We will move on. Next we have Bride by Ali Hazelwood. I finished this June 20th, 2024, and I gave it a 4.75 stars. The sexual parts, let's just say the sexual parts was not my favorite. I feel like they could have, if you read it, you would know. He didn't want to do intercourse because he didn't want to, like, because of this one thing. And I feel like they should have just brought it up one time and maybe, like, you know, sprinkle in what he meant, or like actually just say what he meant, or I don't know. I feel like they brought it up way too many times and I was starting to get uncomfortable. And then we have the last book I've technically finished and read is Lord of the Wilds. I could never pronounce her name. And Anila? Am I illiterate? I'm so ready for the second book. Let me tell you guys when I finished it. I finished this July 12th, 2024, and I gave it a 4.75. It made me seem like I rate everything high, or like a 4.6 7.5. But no, I've just read like a lot of good books this year. See, as you could tell, the characters are black. This is my first book that I've read, and it had like, ooh, I think they were all black. Well, they're all people of color. Let's just say that, because there was an Asian girl in it. The author really talked about her hair. Not in just one spot did she talk about her hair, but while Lore, that's her name, while Lore was going through her journey, the author sprinkled in like what she did with her hair and how she kind of like dealt with it at the time. And then the other characters, they also have natural hair. So one of them helped her like, hey, use this cream, not that one, because that one will make your hair dry and brittle. Like I said, it's more like a sprinkled in to the book, like in areas in the book. So it's not like a very long description of like how her hair is this, and it's not like she's dragging down her hair. You can tell that she actually likes her hair. It just, you know, gets annoying sometimes, and so she's having trouble managing it in the woods. The fact that you can do that in the first place, or like the place that she comes from, like it's not like, it's like a broke, poor place, and that she still manages to take care of her hair. And I love that she put that in her books. It's like everyone that we met, I feel like, had curly hair. Correct me if I'm wrong. The plot was amazing. The twist was amazing. I'm so ready for the next book. I am so ready. I don't know if a lot of people read this, but I know it's super good. And if you're like, no, Lore of the Wilds, please. Now let's go on to the books that I DNF'd. I DNF, funny story. I got to page 82. I just really couldn't get into this book. It could have been I was slightly bored. Could have been not a lot of stuff was happening. And I'm gonna see, I don't know. Should I like pick it up? When does it really get good? There's many times where I almost fell asleep. I put it down. Next, I don't know if I should even put this in. I don't know if this should count, but it is a book and I did put it down for a while. It's Atomic Habits. It's a self-help book. That's why I'm like, should I even count this? Because who finishes self-help books in like one sitting? Or am I crazy? Am I crazy? I might pick it up later, but as of right now, I am not in the mood to read a self-help book. So now, lastly, we are going to do the book that I'm currently reading. It's Book Lovers by Emily Henry. That's crazy. Emily Henry, Book Lovers. I am on page 57. I started annotating it because I thought it would be more fun too. Let me show you. Like, I didn't want to annotate it at first, but then I got to a part, I'm like, ooh, it's getting good. So I started annotating, and then it got back to like, I don't really care anymore. Right now, I'm really hoping it picks up some more. I'm not having that much fun reading it. There are just some references that they're talking about in the beginning, and I think they're referencing like one of the books that her client written, like her and the two main characters, Nora, the girl, and then Charlie, the guy, are making references to Nora's client's books, and I just don't get it. Nora and her sister Libby are also making references to like other things that I just don't get, and so far their banter is through email. Not that I don't like that it's through email, it's just I don't get the banter. For the longest time, I didn't understand what a literary agent was until she brought it up. I think on page 52. Before that, I didn't know what a literary agent was, so I was kind of confused on what business she was trying to do. All I knew is that she had a client, that her client writes books, but I thought she wrote books too. I know she likes to read. I don't know. We're gonna keep reading and see how it goes. That's it for today's video. I hope you guys liked it. I will catch you guys soon when I get here. When I see ya, I'll see ya. Okay? Bye, guys.